All right. How we doing, everyone? Welcome to another edition of FSI's NASCAR DFS Pick Show. I'm your host, TK Nation 47, joined by Mega Roller 31. Mega, why the snickering and smiles this evening?
Because I got thirsty and just cracked open a soda right before like we're recording, so that might be the first thing that comes out.
No, that's
a great show, guys.
Why not break it in with a nice Stone Cold Steve Austin entrance? We had the Xfinity race completely dump itself on its head. Cheers to that. One wreck kind of ruined us all, and we are moving on. Kind of the story of the weekend so far. So hopefully we can turn it around here for Michigan International Speedway. We have the FireKeepers Casino 400, 200 laps, 400 miles. Mega, go ahead, break down what we're looking at here for this race.
Well, one thing I just want to say is, like, with the truck race, I did profit, even with the chaos. With this one, I played $101 because really the pools aren't that huge for Xfinity, but I ended up losing only $8.20. And I think the key is sometimes when there's many paths to go in cash, I divided my cash into thirds, which didn't work because Cindric was in almost every single line. However, my two GPP lines were all independent drivers that nobody overlapped. And my lineup that ended up cashing pretty well had, like Allmendinger in it. It had Barry in it. So it had guys that all finished the race, and had Jed Burt not run out of gas, I probably would have won a couple hundred. So
yeah,
I think that's important to, if you guys are building, if you're multi-entering, then you've got your procedure. But if you only play a couple lines, just make sure that you don't overlap drivers too much, because then your day is not going to end.
Yeah, it was a bummer for me all around. I'm not going to lie. So, I'm just going to crinkle that new paper up of notes and throw it away and get ready here for Michigan. I have been to this course and I've seen, a race on it, and I see Kyle Larson on the pole, and my mind just gravitates to seeing him win this race in Dale Jr.'s last season. So I'm going to be playing Kyle sitting on the pole. What about you?
Yeah, I think he's definitely the one that you want to look here that's going to dominate. You look who the starting four are. You have Larson, Elliott, Blaney, DiBenedetto. Elliott's been great on short tracks and on road courses, but not on speedways like this. Blaney, he is okay in this package with the low horsepower, high downforce. And DiBenedetto, I don't think he's going to do anything. And we saw that it's very hard to chase down the leader. Like we saw restart after restart today, and nobody really on the bottom line. Now we did see Cindric, like with a fan out, come from like 5th or 6th place and take the lead. But I really think Larson's going to get out front. It's going to be hard to catch him and track him down. The only thing that mildly concerns me is a similar track to this one is Atlanta. And he did struggle there, and he did finish 18th. He just did not have the speed. His car was not put together there. So, and that was the same package. So that's the only thing that mildly concerns me. But I think overall, I think that he's a very good play to start your lineups with.
Yeah, I like I said, I remember him dominating the race that I watched with my own two eyes, and I just expect much of the same. I agree. There's some questions about some other 1.5 mile large tracks that we've seen in the past, but Kyle Larson dominates at Auto Club, another 2-mile track. He does well at Texas, other similar tracks. So starting on the pole, much of an advantage. I think it's the strong cash play option. You alluded to Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, and Matthew Benedetto. Chase Elliott probably just going to be a GPP play. The price tag is really nice at 9,200. If there is a chance he can get out ahead of front of Kyle Larson, kind of steal the show. I just haven't seen Chase Elliott, like you said, dominate many races that isn't a short track or a road course. So for that reason, I could be, low ownership. Blaney, I think starting pretty high, 9K, not terrible. Ohio guy, so he's got some roots up down I-75. I could see him playing okay, but
And he's been really good in the package. Like last year, he was they did a back-to-back at Michigan, and he was very, very good here. I think he finished second the first race, and then Koslowski and he took each other out in the second race.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think he'd be okay. Just about that much is, just about that. 7,300 for Di Benedetto. Just starting too far ahead for me. So I'm probably out. Martin Truex Jr. at 9,400. Any love?
I don't know. It's just like the Gibbs cars haven't been as dominant. The Hendricks ones and with working with the Childress ones, they're the ones that seem to have the speed. Would it surprise me? No. Like he started off the season a little rocky, then he had that dominant run before Larson kind of took the torch and took everything over. So he's in the playoffs. I don't know. I think he's a GPP. I like the price. I'll probably play him in one lineup so my daughter doesn't disown me because it's her favorite driver. But other than that, I'm not like super interested. Like I might do a stack of Gibbs cars, but I don't think I'm going to, in case they like all really get the package and nail it and have it figured out better than the other ones. But other than that, I don't think I'm going to play them as in a cash lineup.
Yeah, you're morally obligated to play Truex week in and week out. So usually when I throw that question at you, I know it's at least some exposure. Kurt Busch, I think, starting too far ahead for 8,500. I know he's got some good track correlation with Atlanta, but I'm going to be out on this Chip Ganassi ride.
Didn't he won Atlanta, didn't he?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I'm not starting Kurt Busch at 6th.
Yeah, that's too high. I agree.
Yeah. I mean, the price tag is not bad, 8,500. I get the discount, but I'm not gonna budge. I'm probably not playing him. Kyle Busch, on the other hand, I could understand playing Kyle Busch.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
He's not bad here.
10-8. I just now high dollar exposure. If I were to play like the 121 tomorrow, I probably wouldn't have Kyle Busch in my lineup. But if I'm playing, the $4 single, or if I'm playing a single entry or maybe a 3-entry max, he's in one of the 3-entry maxes just to get some low ownership. I think he's not going to be a real chalky play tomorrow.
Honestly, like just looking like through the industry, he's getting a lot of touts as like a catch play, and I think people are pairing with Larson. Like I said, I don't get it. I would rather play so many other guys. First guy on my GPP, but in cash paired with Larson, maybe on FanDuel where you're looking for like more finishing position than place differential and some of the other things that DK does, and everybody's free pretty much.
Right. Yeah. I was going to say FanDuel's salaries are really luxurious over there, so I could understand him being in a good spot. But 10-8 is pretty hefty. You're going to need that top 5, that second dominator points that you're looking for. It's not a given, so I can understand the GPP point. No cash for me on Kyle Busch. Next up, we have Kevin Harvick. Believe it or not, Kevin Harvick has raced well at Michigan in the past, especially in the recent past. He's won some races. So typically we've been fading Kevin Harvick because it's been a road course or a short track or something just totally off his scale of driving. But now we find ourselves at a little bit of a sweet spot for Kevin Harvick. Nailed it with Brandon Jones in the Xfinity race. I think that's the only thing I got right was, hey, this is a Brandon Jones track. I don't like playing Brandon Jones, but I'm going to play him because it's the right fit. I feel the same way about Kevin Harvick. How about you?
100% agree. Just this track in the last 6 races, he's finished either first or second. I think it was 4 wins and 2 second places. So it's a wide track. It's a place where, Harvick likes his car set up a little bit looser. And I think you can get away with that here, as long as it's not too loose, like Ty Gibbs when you lose the back end into the wall. But I think definitely,
Yeah, that was great.
I think I can play him in cash here at 10,000. I think if you want to pair him with Larson as your second dominator, I don't hate it.
Yeah, and even if he doesn't, dominate the race, but he gets some fastest laps in that top 5, top 3 finish that we're looking for, the place differential from 8th to 3rd is going to be probably enough to get that 10K price tag paid off. So I like Kevin Harvick as well. Next up, we have Denny Hamlin at 10-4. He's been getting a little bit better off the hauler. I think it's still a work in progress with Hamlin. He's kind of got lucky, last week. So being in a decent spot for a chance to win the race. Obviously, he got dumped. I don't care what Briscoe said about running into the back of him was an accident. He got dumped and probably should have won that road course. But he also kind of got, kind of luck boxed his way into that position. And I'm not sure about Denny Hamlin come Sunday.
Yeah, he lost me a lot of money with that. I was not happy. I think it's going to be hit or miss, but like I said, I'm really not as impressed with the Gibbs cars as I am with the Chevys. So I think, pairing him with Truex here, I don't hate it. I haven't listed as a cash play. There's obviously some place differential. So I don't think I'm going to have him in my main cash line, but I think if you do, I think it works.
Yeah. Next up, we have Alex Bowman in the 8,800 in the 48. I like this is an Alex Bowman kind of track. I don't mind him at this 2 mile.
He has been great here. Looking at his numbers, but I think that he's usually the second guy in my GPP. So it always starts out Kyle Busch, throwing Alex Bowman, because if he wins the race, it never surprises you. It's a Hendricks car too, but I think out of all the Hendricks cars, I would probably rank him 4th. So yeah, I don't hate it, but he's more of a GPP for me.
I think it's a decent GPP spot for Bowman here. Chris Buescher, 6,500.
The next
That's
3
not a bad price tag.
Next 3 we can just cross off.
Really?
I think so. Yeah. I think they're starting too high.
6,500 is the cheapest. I agree that Chris Buescher's starting too high, but 6,500 is the lowest price tag we've had on him in weeks. And this is a consistent driver. He's been in positions like this before where you're not expecting him to finish where he starts, and he does. So I could understand Chris Buescher, but I agree. Maybe he's starting a little too high, but I could see myself in GPPs, not cash, but GPPs. The other 2 is Stenhouse and Eric Jones. I'm forbidding myself to playing anyone that's racing in the Richard Petty Motorsports machine, whether or not they're a good driver and a good
what
spot.
If it's Richard Petty?
Jones, I was going to say Eric Jones is no, not even if it's the king himself. But Eric Jones is from Michigan. This is a home track. There's like a big connection here for him. I still can't play him starting 13th. And he's really good at Texas. He's really good at big speedways. He's really good on fast tracks. And I think he's starting too high, but I would understand it. He could pull out a top 10. So your thoughts?
I'm not playing Buescher. I'm not playing Stenhouse. I'm not playing Jones. I think I like the pricing on them, but there's other guys that are even below them that are much better plays, have more place differential. I think these guys have risk to lose too many points here, and I'm out.
All righty. Next up, we have Tyler Reddick, 7,400. He got a chance at this track in the Xfinity Series, so I think Tyler Reddick, fairly decent play here, starting 14th. 2-groove track, a lot of fast. Yeah, you got multiple grooves. You got tire wear. You got a preferred line. This is the style of track we look for when we're thinking of Tyler Reddick. So I am in on Tyler Reddick tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not exactly a wall rider, and the price is a little bit high, but I have him tagged as cash right here because I think that he can get up into the top 10. He ran it today. He did really well. I mean, he was leading at times there. I think he had a pit penalty. So, but he finished well here. I think, as I said, these Childress cars have been working with Hendricks. They have the speed in tracks like this. So I think that
Yeah.
he has a good day.
Yeah, I agree. Next up, we have Bubba Wallace and Ryan Newman. 6,400 for Bubba Wallace, 7,100 for Ryan Newman. I am out on Ryan Newman. That's too high for me. Yeah, I think he capitalized on a wacky Indianapolis Speedway race. I think he's going to go backwards. Bubba Wallace, I think he's too high as well, so I'm probably out on him. Your thoughts on those two?
Same. I mean, Bubba did better than we thought he would on the Xfinity track, and I think that he's starting too high here. I don't see him finishing in the top 15. So, and there's better plays in this price range.
Yeah. Next up, we have Justin Haley, 5,100. I think I'm going to be out. I'm guessing that's the same for you.
I really debated this one because he's one of the cheapest drivers in the field at 51. He's obviously starting way too far forward, but here's the question. Can he finish 29th or better? Now, keep in mind that Cully is starting to put money into this program already. So it's not the Spire car. It does have some Cully backing. You're frozen?
Yeah, you got some really bad restrictions. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you now. But I was saying that.
Okay. Yeah, we thought we lost you. Go ahead and
I was saying
what you started.
That Justin Haley, if he finishes 29th or better, then he doesn't lose you any points. So, and it seems like his new team has put some resources into this car. I don't think he's going to finish 17th, but at his price, he can get you what you need and not lose you anything, because I think he can finish in the top 30.
Okay. I think he's starting a little too high. Like 5,100, I could get it if he finishes where he starts. Next up, we have William Byron 10-2. And your thoughts on the Hendrick Motorsports 24?
He's going to be my second dominator, even though he's starting far down here. I think he's going to get up, and I think that he has the speed. He will get up. He will have fast laps. He'll probably lead at some point in this race, and I think he has a shot at winning it.
Yeah. So all those Kyle Busch shares everybody else is going to have, I think I'm going to have mine and William Byron.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah. I feel much more confident in that place differential, the winning upside as much as Kyle Busch, and then getting a little bit of, fastest laps with the Hendrick cars. They've been the fastest all year. So I really like the Byron pick. Next up, we have two Penske drivers starting 19th and 20th, 9,600 and 98. Looks like the same play, Joey Logano and Brad Keselowski. Any love for the Penske stack tomorrow?
Here's the thing. It's not the same play. Logano is not good in this package. He is good in the opposite package. This is the package that Koslowski is good in. This is Keselowski's home track. However, they have taken resources away from Keselowski and added it to Logano and to Blaney.
They absolutely have.
Yeah. So I thought it was a trap at first, but then I kind of looked at it, and I think in FanDuel, like with his pricing, he's definitely probably the second guy you want to put in there with Larson. But in DK, if you can work him in cash, I'm okay with it. But I think he's definitely a very good GPP play.
That's fair. All right. Yeah.
Oh, come on, you're the Keselowski whisperer.
I play Keselowski at Michigan every time, so was already going to play Keselowski. I just needed a little bit more on Logano. I haven't been playing recent weeks. I had the fade last week. That was a perfect call. But yeah, you kindly reminding us about the package difference splits between Logano. It sets up well. And yeah, I was always going to play Keselowski tomorrow.
Okay.
Next up, we have Chase Briscoe in the 14. 6,700. He's really come on. And, this was a guy that we were dogging earlier in the year about his transition from Xfinity to the Cup. And now it kind of looks like he's arrived. He's a really good road course racer. He's just coming off 2 fantastic races. Whether he finished well or not, he had really good races. So he's got a little bit of momentum. He's getting better, and 6,700 is a price tag I can get behind.
Yeah, and he averages almost a top 15 finish in this package. So I think definitely he can move up a little bit. I mean, Haley, Newman, Wallace. I mean, there's at least 3 guys right there, possibly somewhere Jones, Stenhouse, Busher. There's like 3, 4, 5 spots that he could definitely move up.
Huh?
So
are you good?
Yeah, he can move up 3
Sorry.
or he can move up 3 or 4 spots. I said, just looking at some of the guys ahead of him. So definitely think he can get up into the top 15.
Gotcha. Next up, we have Ross Chastain, 7,700. Yes, check yes. I've seen a 42 car win. It was Kyle Larson, but Chip Ganassi's had some speed at Michigan in the past. Ross Chastain's had some success this year. I don't think 7,700 is too high. So yeah, sign me up.
I have him as a GPP play. I have him in some lineups, but he's not my favorite guy. But I think, if you land on him in this price range, which is pretty much, I think you'd rather play $100 more for your favorite guy coming up. But I definitely think that.
Oh, no. All right, next up we have Eric Almirola, 8,300 in the 10. He's come on late. I think Almirola sets up well. Won the All-Star race at Texas, or at least one of the All-Star races. I mean, that's a great correlation. We weren't using him during the road courses, but that's typical. I'm ready to jump back over Almirola.
Yeah, I think he's definitely a GPP. I think pricing wise and risk wise, you can't play him in cash, but I think definitely he's got some place differential, and I think he's got an outside shot at the top 10 if he has a good day.
Yeah, I agree. Next up, we have Josh Berry in the 7. Corey LaJoie has COVID protocols, as he put in quotation marks on Twitter. So sounds like there's some behind the swap. Josh Berry getting a clear look at the format in the 7. This is a typically fast car. Berry's not a terrible driver. Any love?
Love the price. I think he's definitely a value cash play here. He was really close to winning the Xfinity race. And actually, AJ Allmendinger made a comment to his crew chief that he was scared of Berry because he said, this guy is going to be a very, very good driver. He's like, and he could potentially take this race from us today. So we've got to be careful.
Yeah, Josh Berry, really driver. I don't mind the price tag. Just worried about the starting position. So maybe GPP only. Next up, we have Michael McDowell, 6K, 25 starting spot. This is a guy that runs well on very big, fast tracks. So I'm in on Michael McDowell.
Yep, absolutely. Great in this package. It's close to a super speedway. We always take him at like Daytona and like Talladega and road courses. Just anything in between, no.
Yep. Next up, we have Austin Dillon at 8K. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw how chalky Austin Dillon was and at a road course. even at his price tag, I was stunned to see people have faith in the fact that you were putting your lineups in the hands of Austin Dillon, where he has to take a right. So I was shocked, and it did not disappoint there at the end, coming through in the clutch, wrecking his 3 machine, and just bolting my complete fade of Austin Dillon. And I won hefty last week because of it. So thank you all that chose Austin Dillon as chalk last week.
Yeah, he hit that Dukes of Hazzard, Jones.
Suckers.
So
yeah, he launch padded off that speed bump, and my heart and mind, I just went nuts. I said, there it is. That's what you get. All right.
I think he's okay.
But I like actually this week. Yeah, so here I am completely turning around on myself here at 8K. I love this pick for a guy that's won on big tracks, fast tracks, big speedways. Yeah, Austin Dillon fits the bill here, and he's starting 26th, 8K. That's the right price. So I'm in on Austin Dillon tomorrow. Next up, we have Cole Custer, 7K. Cole Custer's been having a really good short run here in the last couple of races. He was running pretty high last week in that road course before, just some unlucky breaks fell his way. I like this pick. 7K, really cheap for Cole Custer.
Yeah, just need to pick up 10 spots. He's one of my prime plays. So I think starting the lineup with Larson, Custer, and then the next guy, Bell. I think those are going to be my 3 locks.
Yep, getting to it, Christopher Bell, 8,100. That is absurdly low price tag for Christopher Bell, starting 28th. This car is way too fast to not have excessive amount of ownership from the industry. So I expect Christopher Bell to be chalk tomorrow. So I'll eat that and move on.
Really like it.
Yeah, pretty much. Josh Bilicki, 4,600 is a pass. Now we're moving on to the juicy spot here with Daniel Suarez, 7,800. If you're gonna like Daniel Suarez, I'll just give you the floor.
And I like him. I mean,
we all know my stance.
Yes. Yeah. I like Custer and Bell more, but like, I think if you could work in your lineup, if you throw in Larson and then throw in like Dillon, Custer, and Bell, and then, Dillon, Custer, Bell, and Suarez, and see how much is left or any 3 of those 4 guys, I think are the key, to the mid range. I think they're all going to be very popular, and then just figure out who your second nominator is going to be.
Correct. I think that's
I think for us, we said it's going to be Byron. So, a
lot of 2v2s tomorrow. I think we're going to get a lot of duplicated lineups, and I think there's going to be the offset 2v2s. And I really hope people don't play Kevin Harvick, and that's going to be our lone guy. And I already like how this slate is shaping up. Next up, we have Quinn Huff. I am not a Quinn Huff guy, so you can exit this video if you are a Quinn Huff guy.
Sorry, Quinn Huff's mom. You can play him. He'll be the 0.01% ownership.
One less viewer of the show. Sorry, Quinn Huff's mother. Next up, we have Ryan Preece, 7,500. I don't mind 32nd starting position. I wish the price tag was a little cheap. Below 7K would have been perfect, but 7,500, I think that keeps the ownership down a little bit.
Yeah, I can't fit him in any of my builds. He's way too expensive. Like, for 500 less, you get Cole Custer. I mean, you could get Chastain for 200 more, like Tyler Reddick for 100 less. There's just, with the people around him, no.
So with that being said, though, that directly correlates to the low ownership that I was alluding to. So he is playable given some craziness that you would see at like the Xfinity level is the Xfinity level. But hey, things can happen on the racetrack. Maybe these guys in the mid-range here take themselves out, and you're left with Preece, who is just ride in the back for a couple laps. I could see that. So I could see a small smidge of ownership in the MME format for Ryan Preece. Probably it for me there. All right, just going to kind of go through the rest of this. Smithley, Gase, Alfredo, McLeod, where any love for any of them?
Gase is not on DK, so you can't play him. FanDuel did add him. Smithley, unfortunately, had to play as a punt in FanDuel to get one of my team stacks in. So I will have like 1% ownership on him tomorrow in FanDuel only. Alfredo, I don't mind at 58. Like, there's no way he's finishing. Even if he loses 2 positions, he loses you 2 points, but he has the potential to be in the top 30. So he has potential to gain 5 points. So at 58, it's not a bad price for a little bit of place differential. He might be a little bit safer than Mcdowell, even though McDowell is a better racer in his package, or even Josh Berry for like 200 more. So I think he'll be very popular here, and I think you might even see like over 25% ownership in him just for the place differential and to get some of the higher drivers in.
Yeah, he is the preferred punt tomorrow. He is going to be everybody's like, oh, last guy in, or like second to last guy in, Alfredo, and then whatever I have left. So I could totally get why they're going to play Alfredo, because of the 35th starting position and the $5,800 price tag will definitely garner a lot of ownership. That makes it a great fade, in my opinion, if you're just doing some ownership, game theories. But in some instance or one another, I'm going to have some Alfredo in my lineups. Probably not the high dollar. I think I'd rather fade him in that format. MME, he probably is. McLeod and Ware, no thanks.
It's not a snowball's chance in Hades.
No snow in hell, sir. All right, that will wrap things up for the driver by driver breakdown. Mega, anything to add?
I think I didn't have a chance to do the playoff breakdown. I know, I think Dylan and Radix are the ones that are on the bubble. So if you have an outlier win here, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult next week. I think Daytona is the cutoff. So next week, I think we have all 3 series at Daytona, possibly. So it should be a fun.
Yeah, that is coming up soon. Talladega and Daytona.
Yeah, Talladega, I think we got a little bit. I think it's not till October, but so it's fun because we got a lot of great racing coming up. Chance to. So hopefully this turns out better than the first 2. And sometimes when we've had like a really frustrating truck race and really frustrating Xfinity, things come together for Cup and we break even and leave the weekend. You go to bed Sunday night feeling like you're not a complete failure at DFS NASCAR.
It's certainly worked out that way, where if you don't have the Xfinity and truck magic, you kill it in Cup. So let's hope that trend continues. I am your host, TK Nation 47. That was Mega Ruler 31. If there were technical difficulties throughout the show today, sorry about that. We're apologizing in advance if this was a little choppy. It just seems like, Saturday night, the towers were not doing us any favors today. So, hey, it is what it is. Speed it up, turn it up ×2 if it helps. But
so you told that at the end of the video. So
yeah,
you might want to put that in the comments.
Great point, Mega. If anyone was wondering who the brains of the operation is, that is Mega. Yes, like this video if you enjoyed the comic relief here at the end of the show. And comment below how dumb TK Nation 47 is. Thank you, Mega, for correcting me as always. All right, guys, have a good night.